On assumption of office, President Tinubu has been meeting with various stakeholders towards building a better Nigeria, including a bilateral meeting with the Chinese Special Envoy, as well as chairperson of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdulrasheed Bawa, at the Villa. And that's happening barely 24 hours after he ordered DSS operatives to vacate EFCC premises here in Lagos. Let's now quickly touch base with our state correspondent, Femi Akonde, for updates on today's activities at the Villa. Femi, it's been a very busy second day in office for the president. Will you say the new occupants of Aso Rock are now settling in well?
Yes, indeed, Femi, they are settling in well, learning the ropes of the presidency, getting familiar with their office space. That is Mr. President's office space. He's getting familiar with it. He came in quite early this morning to resume duty. And as we speak, Femi, Mr. President is still on his seat, is still at his duty post, holding meetings, holding talks with heads of government agencies and parastatals, getting regular briefs from the people who are in charge of running the economy, running security, running other critical sectors of the country. Well, all of these meetings have been behind closed doors. The press are not privy to what is being discussed, but from the feelers we are getting, we know that all that is being discussed are issues of national concern, and of course that would help the administration of Bola Tinubu stabilize and begin to steer Nigeria towards the path of growth and development. Nifemi.
Absolutely, but what are you learning about the meeting he had with the EFCC chairman earlier today?
Well, his meeting with the EFCC chairman was also behind closed doors. Abdulrasheed Bawa did not, he refused to divulge to us what he discussed with Mr. President. But you know, this is coming just about 24 hours after Mr. President gave that directive instructing the Department of State Security to vacate the premises of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Ikoyi. You know, a lot of people have commended the president for this prompt response, for this proactiveness, because we have seen this kind of clashes between security agencies. We have seen it between different government agencies in the past. This is now becoming something very common in the country. All these quarrels between government agencies, and you know, what is happening between the EFCC and the DSS is an administrative issue, but you know, it's snowballed into a huge crisis when the DSS decided to just go and barricade the office of the EFCC, preventing members of staff from gaining entrance and also resuming work. And well, the president is saying that all of this will be settled amicably. We also believe that the EFCC chairman would have gone to give Mr. President his own side of the story. We also expect that indeed Mr. President will listen to the DSS side of the story too before he would come to a conclusion and resolve the matter amicably, like he said in that press statement, that the matter will be resolved amicably. So everyone is watching to see how Mr. President will handle this very delicate matter.
That is being resolved, Femi. Stakeholders in the oil and gas industry seem to have thrown their weight behind the removal of fuel subsidy, but like I know you experience in Abuja as well, queues at filling stations are getting longer and the prices are also climbing. What are you hearing at the Villa about what government is planning to do to arrest the situation?
Well, we know that the Nigerian Labour Congress is spoiling for a fight, and they are right now locked in a meeting with the permanent secretary of the State House, that is Tijani Umar. We hear that Comrade Adams Oshomole, former NLC president, is also in that meeting. He will be negotiating on the government side. We're expecting to bring his expertise and experience in labor matters to bear and see if indeed he will be able to prevail on the labor leaders to be patient with the government a bit, because you know, this fuel subsidy issue has been a very knotty issue in Nigeria. It has been an issue that really upsets the Nigerian Labour Congress. What the NLC is asking for is for palliatives, for measures to be put in place to cushion the hardship that this withdrawal of fuel subsidy payment will cause for Nigerians. But you know, like the NNPC CEO said yesterday, that provision was made for the payment of fuel subsidy in 2022 and also up to half of 2023, up to June this year. But so far in this year, no payments has been made to the NNPC for fuel subsidy. And as it stands, the federal government owes the NNPC 2.8 trillion naira, and the federal government is still scratching its head about how they would pay back that money. And the NNPC is now a business venture for profit making. With the signing of the PIA Act, it makes the NNPC a business venture. So what they are saying is they can no longer foot the bill for fuel subsidy. It is going to be bad business for the NNPC. Just like other marketers, NNPC is also out for business. So they are saying that, well, if indeed they are out for business, then they can't continue to subsidize the premium motor spirit. So that will mean throwing open the pricing regime, and it will also be dictated by market forces. But we are expecting that this would also show how the Tinubu administration will handle so many issues that will be confronting it. This one indeed was inherited from the previous administration, but yesterday's meeting between the president and the NNPC CEO was apt as a way of looking for taking quick steps to ensure that this does not snowball into a major crisis that would inflict so much hardship
we are
on
following
Nigerians.
very closely how the Tinubu administration reacts to this latest development. Perhaps when we also talk to you tomorrow, we will be looking at if there are signs that some key appointments will be announced anytime from now.